Ahsoka's back. Man, I really liked it. I really liked this episode. The opening sequence, it shows the, like the season 5 finale stuff. And it makes this seem more like a sequel to that finale, when Ahsoka left Anakin at the temple. And it lets you know that we've been waiting, 7 years now to see this particular episode. Like we're back in business, We see Ahsoka on her own now. She's barely scraping by with, any credits. She's in the underworld. 1313 as a matter of fact. And I am so glad that they kept this. I feel like this arc was meant to be seen around the same time as the 1313 video game release. Clone Wars always seemed to have a good synergy with whatever was going on, in Star Wars and other parts of the medium. Like with Maul, they brought him back around the same time as the Phantom Menace coming out in 3D in theaters again. So it kind of gives me that sense that 1313 is brought up in this episode as their way to tie it in with that game before Disney canceled 1313. I think that Lucas and Filoni and the team were working on all of this, and it's just been kind of sitting on a shelf as a concept all of these years, and we're just now starting to see it. And I'm glad it's more along that line than just rewrites or, what Disney would think season 7 would be. Like, this is the George Lucas, Dave Filoni, Star Wars, The Clone Wars ending that we were supposed to get. But I've got to say, man, Ahsoka's new friends, the sisters, I found myself harboring those same feelings as I did for the Bad Batch. Useless, boring. Why are we wasting our time with them? But I know that this is going to be one of those arcs, man. The sisters are here to further develop Ahsoka's character, much like the Bad Batch were there to progress Echo as a character. So as to what they're meant to teach Ahsoka or teach us about Ahsoka, I really can't figure that one out just yet. But I'll tell you this, Ahsoka really didn't seem to have much confidence on her own in the beginning of the episode. It's not until she beat down the landlord and his goons that she started finally displaying some confidence and comfort in her own skin. And after she does beat them up, I love how the one sister, I can't remember her name, maybe it's Trace, I know that's the title of the episode, so maybe that's like a play on words, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, she asks Ahsoka, how did you learn how to fight like that? And she just kind of looks down and says, my brother taught me, referring to Anakin. And man, that just gave me the feels. And the Jedi were her only family, and here she is trying to hide her past at a time in the galaxy where it isn't actually as essential as it would have been for, say, Kanan and Cal, where, they have to hide their past or the Empire will execute them. So this is a very interesting twist on that. Obviously, the Jedi aren't popular because of the war, but it's more Ahsoka trying to fit in and find, a side of herself that she hasn't quite yet discovered as a Padawan in her time in the Jedi Order. It kind of feels like she cut herself off from the Force a bit, trying not to use her abilities until she absolutely has to. Like with her friend when she's about to fall to her death and Ahsoka uses her powers. I loved when that part came up, that scene, because the Force theme kind of swelled up and you see that little kid watching in awe and absolute amazement at Ahsoka, which is, telling us as the audience that the Jedi are still a symbol of hope for a lot of people in the galaxy. Maybe Ahsoka doesn't realize that yet, so maybe these sisters are going to end up maybe finding out about Ahsoka's past and accept her anyway, maybe giving Ahsoka the confidence to face Maul like we've seen in the trailers, who knows? But we're about halfway through with this season, so at this point I figure things are about to get pretty real. But anyhow, how do you feel about Ahsoka's return? Let me know. Thanks for watching, see you tomorrow, and peace!